Before you jump into the video, be sure to comment, rate, and subscribe.
Alright guys, what's going on? The Air Raid Lord is here, back for more Walking Dead greatness in the form of Andrew Lincoln news. It seems like any Season 9 vlog I make now is about negativity in basically the direction of where the show is headed. So, more news coming out today that is just... once again, not what any of us want to hear, but it's kind of, it was inevitable when they made this decision. Whoever made this decision, we still don't know. We don't even know if it's true. If Andrew Lincoln's leaving and Rick Grimes leaving the show and being killed off or whatever, but we shall see. We shall see, as with everything else. So. This article actually that I found, there have been polls by the Reddit community of The Walking Dead, and I don't know who took these polls. It was a Walking Dead subreddit Walking Dead subreddit did an extensive survey asking as many users a number of questions on the state of the show. And so 44% out of 900 respondents said they would not continue watching after Andrew Lincoln's final scene. 37% were undecided, and only 18% said they would definitely keep watching. And then 72% think The Walking Dead should end after Season 9. Oh my gosh, guys. Carol is the character fans most want to stay alive, with Judith, Michonne, Negan, and Dwight rounding at the top 5. The thing is, I advocated in my last vlog, I advocated that it should be Judith, because I feel like, again, I said this in my last vlog, that she was born in the apocalypse, she's born and raised, she has lived through most of the events of the series now. I mean, she was born in that first part of Season 3, so at this point, she's been on the show. Like, I'm not saying the actor, because obviously they've gotten many different children to play her, but her as a character, she has been on the show longer than some of the other people that we have on this show, if you think about it. And she is Laurie's daughter, and if we're going to believe that Shane's daughter as well, so she holds a very pivotal part of that old group and the old ideals and the old storylines, like all the things that happened back then that really kind of influenced events moving forward. And I think honestly that the show could work like that, but you'd have to find some way to have a significant time jump, because she has to be of age, like a teenager like Carl, to have any meaningful interactions, because right now she's just a kid who plays with toys and makes hand signals, and it's more in the fact that other characters interact with her. Like in Season 7, Negan found her, and Negan was kind of bouncing her on his lap, and everyone was like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? Because obviously in the comics Judith is dead. She actually dies at the prison, which I don't even know why Robert Kirkman brought her character into the show to begin with, if into the comics to begin with, if she was just going to die in the comics just a few issues later. It didn't really make much sense. So I was actually very happy that she survived the prison when Tyrese saved her, and then all of the events that go on after that. And now she's still alive and growing up, and now with the 2-year time jump, just like in Rick's vision, it looks like she's going to be walking around and talking, at least at a very basic level. So, I think that could work, but it's just the thing is you need a big time jump to get there. And we're already getting, like a 2-year time jump with Season 9, so how can you just say, oh, well, we had a time jump there, now we're going to have another one? Like, so, and the thing is, yes, Negan is the character fans most want to take over the lead of the program with 40%. So actually, Negan was in the lead. So the villain of your show who murdered Glenn and Abraham, 2 fan favorite characters, people now want him to be the lead, even though he's now in prison. It's rumored that Daryl will be the person. So that's interesting. So Negan was voted first, and Judith was voted second. Because I think a lot of people are thinking what I'm thinking. Like, if you could age Judith up and have like a really good child actress, like a woman, a young girl play her, a teenage girl, you could have a really interesting story. I mean, we've seen, female actresses do great jobs with teenage roles. I mean, look at the success of Hunger Games with Katniss Everdeen. I mean, that's a perfect example right there. And then the Divergent series, which is also somewhat a ripoff of Hunger Games. I'm not entirely sure, but it's got that same dystopian feel to it. Not to say that it is a ripoff. So you could have that, like a girl who's battle-hardened, almost like an Ellie. Like, if anyone likes, any of you guys play The Last of Us? I played The Last of Us video game. The Last of Us 2 just was shown a lot of gameplay at E3. That's a teenage girl. That's actually, she was much younger on Last of Us 1. She was pretty young. She was like, what, like 14, 15? And now she's like, I don't know how many years old. Maybe 18, 19. So early teens, late teens versus Last of Us 1 and Last of Us 2. So, and then look at you can look within the series, The Walking Dead Telltale series with Clementine. But again, I don't want to reiterate all the things that I said in my previous vlog, but this is bad. This is the reason I made this video, because I saw this news and I was like, oh my gosh, like your ratings are going to be like... And the thing is, if people naturally find this out for themselves, like if they just... Because some people might not follow the news. Like, some people might just watch the show when it comes out. They don't follow the news. They're busy with their lives. And then when Sunday 9 o'clock, they go on their TVs and they watch the show, and oh, Rick Grimes is dying. Wait, what? Like, I mean, it was already huge news when Carl died, and you saw the reaction to that. So now, I don't know, man. This is just horrible, because it's the end of an era. This is literally the end of The Walking Dead. A year from now, so in summer 2019, The Walking Dead could be like, we could get an announcement saying that season 10 is the last season or something. They could just say, you know what, 10 is a nice even number. You got to double digits. That's impressive. Not many shows get to double digits. Screw it. Season 10's the last season. Now that Rick left in season 9, the ratings, like, they just, like, how can you have the production money to do it if your ratings aren't getting you what it wants? Like, yeah. And then AMC, there's no way the AMC is going to survive. That network is going to just die. It's going to, does anyone remember G4 TV? Very early cable subscribers would have to know what that is. But G4 TV was they had a lot of gaming-centered shows. So they had X-Play that had Morgan Webb and Adam Sessler. They had Attack of the Show. There were a lot of live-action comedy, like, web series that were on, but they were on TV. And they covered gaming news. They were almost kind of like a Tosh.0. Like, I watched Tosh.0. It was a pretty funny show. But it's kind of like a Tosh.0, but they talked about more gaming, nerdy, geek-related things. And that was just the focus. And so G4 TV showed that, and then they had reruns of Cops, the TV show Cops, and then they showed movies every now and then, kind of like AMC, where AMC has their reruns. They do reruns of popular movies like The Matrix, The Dark Knight, just like, big, movies that have big significance, and they run their ads. And that's the thing, they play the movies on the network. And then in between, there's ad breaks saying, oh, The Walking Dead's coming back, Fear the Walking Dead's coming back, Better Call Saul is coming back, All three of those shows that I just mentioned, they're all, like, the future of those shows is completely uncertain, because Better Call Saul is going into its 4th season in August, and based on how that season, like, we might be nearing an end game with that, because, again, Breaking Bad only went 5 seasons, so once the 4th season of Saul is wrapped up, I'm going to look at that finale and say, are we catching up to the point where Jimmy McGill becomes Saul Goodman and we get to the events of Breaking Bad? Like, we should be seeing a little bit of that. Unless they want to extend Better Call Saul for a good number of seasons, which, every season, the first 3 seasons have been money quality. They've been amazing. No dip-off in quality. So, more power to them if they want to do that. But the thing is, I know Vince Gilligan. I don't think he'd want to go too many seasons. Like Breaking Bad was technically 6 seasons. He told the story that he needed to tell, and then he was done. So I feel like he's going to do the same with Better Call Saul. Fear the Walking Dead. That show is completely changed because, again, this is a big spoiler, but in season 4 you had the deaths of Nick and Madison, which are two of the main central characters of the show from the previous seasons. Now, as I've told you guys, I only watched season 1 of Fear the Walking Dead. Didn't like it. I skipped season 2 and 3, but then a lot of people were saying, oh, season 4 is going to be better. And then the only reason I watched season 4 was because Morgan was in it. I wanted to see what happened to Morgan. After the events of season 8, when Morgan goes to the junkyard, he finds Jadis. He tells Jadis to go back because Rick wants her back. He decides to stay. And the beginning of Fear the Walking Dead features cameos by Jesus, Carol, and Rick. And they're all talking to Morgan, convincing him to stay. He doesn't stay, and then he just keeps heading out west, and then he encounters the Fear group. So I'm following Fear the Walking Dead just to see where Morgan's path leads. And, you know, he's had more of an effect on the other characters in Fear the Walking Dead than he has himself. That's just my assessment, because last Sunday, the mid-season finale of Fear the Walking Dead happened. So now, I guess August, September, the show's going to come back. I don't really know when it's going to come back. But, yeah, a lot of people were pissed off that Madison died because with Travis dead from season 3, they looked at Madison as the Rick Grimes of Fear the Walking Dead. Now she just died. Now all you have is Alicia and Strand as those 2 season 1 characters, but they're not even really main characters. They were kind of just drop-off characters. And some people have joked around saying that it's now Morgan and Friends. You know, Fear the Walking Dead is now an entirely new show. Season 4 and the new showrunner was an attempt to wipe out the previous seasons and now have this new show. So, you've angered some fans, especially. Like, some of the YouTubers I watch, especially Trev's Chan 2 and some of the other Walking Dead people in the community, kind of aren't happy that Madison... I mean, so Nick was killed off because the actor wanted to leave. Doesn't seem like that was the case for Madison. But, yeah, so you've alienated your audience, and now this second half is going to be radically... It's going to be like a whole new show. So this second half of season 4 is going to be a radically new show, and depending how those ratings are once that ends, then, you know, will there be a season 5? Because now you're getting into the, you know, high number territory that The Walking Dead is into. So do you really think that that's possible? I don't know if it's possible. So AMC, I think, just in general, is just in a lot of trouble. And the fact that so many fans are going to stop watching this show, like, people make their threats, but of course they'll go back to the show and watch it. I'm sure AMC is going to try to get in high ratings with the death of Rick, but this sucks, man, because you're ruining your show. Like, the finale of the whole series of The Walking Dead could have been this epic, you know, all-in episode where Rick Grimes either dies or, you know, he has a happy life or just something happens and the story concludes. You know, season 1, first scene of the show, you have Rick Grimes. Final scene of the show, Rick Grimes conquering something. Either it's the zombies, his life, dying, sacrificing himself, whatever the heck the ending is, finding the cure, which I know Kirkman doesn't want to do. Whatever it is, that should be the ending. I don't want it to be, you know, Daryl Dixon is now the main character because Lincoln wanted to leave and now the show's fucked. I don't want that to be the case. Or if, like I said, Judith is the only way this could work. In my mind, that's the only way because she's kind of a replacement to Carl. So she could, like, again, take the legacy of her brother and her father and all those who died defending her. She could take that to, you know, with her and hold it, you know, really close to her chest and give her some good character development as she braves new foes and adversaries in this post-season 9 world. But even then, like I've said this 100 times now, like, there's no way they can make a time jump that big, you know? You'd have to assume that civilization is just going to be fine for years, and already we're having a time jump where they're saying for 2 years civilization is fine. all the communities are expanding. Negan's in prison. It's just like in the comics, which again is fine because after defeating Negan, you really feel like, you know, they've won the day, at least for now. But to do that again, yeah, you're going to run into problems, man. You're already running into problems. I don't see a viable option. I don't know what they can do. I don't know what they can do because the rumors of Maggie and Rick leaving, only being in 6 episodes, and Daryl now having a the Norman Reedus having a $20 million deal that puts him at the helm of the show, it doesn't seem viable to me. It doesn't. There's no way this could work. There's no way. And I've danced around this topic in previous vlogs, but I have to say that this isn't going to work. This is not going to work for the show. And I said to you guys, I will watch up until Rick is killed, and maybe I'll watch one more episode after that. But if I'm not feeling it, like I'm done, man. Like how can I continue this show? How can I continue this show? Like, and it's such a bummer because Walking Dead is my favorite TV show. Out of all the other TV shows I watch, Westworld, Stranger Things, Man in the High Castle, Better Call Saul. I've already mentioned Saul's show. Oh, sorry, I fucking something on my lip there. Yeah, all those shows. Breaking Bad in the past. I'm trying to think of other shows. A friend of mine wanted me to watch The Handmaid's Tale. I guess I should because it got all sorts of freaking awards. But yeah, there are other shows I'm watching right now that are going into its, you know, Westworld has a couple of episodes left until it concludes its 2nd season. Stranger Things is filming season 3. I don't know if there's going to be a season 3 of Westworld. Season 3 of Man in the High Castle should be coming out this December. It's just taking forever. I don't know why. So yeah, there's other shows I'm watching, but they're not as consistent. And again, I like the storyline of The Walking Dead. I like reading the comics. I like seeing where Kirkman's taking it. This New World Order arc with these freaking full-out power armor soldier people with the Commonwealth is really interesting right now. It's kind of slow, but I see it building towards something. And it makes me sad because I'm going to read those comic book issues saying, wow, the show is never going to get to here. The show is never going to cover the Whisperers properly. It's never going to cover the Commonwealth properly. Like, none of these things are going to be covered properly because all of these actors are just, like, again, leaving. According to the news. According to the news. Okay, I really hope that this is some PR bullshit from AMC. That this is maybe because they must know. They must be looking at the fan backlash, and they must be looking at the news sites, comicbook.com, Digital Spy, on and on, reporting on this news. And they must be saying, hey, look at the people aren't happy about this. You know, our ratings might not be so great if we let Andrew Lincoln go. Thus, I say offer him a bigger contract, offer him more. So that $20 million that Daryl's getting, give it to freaking Andrew Lincoln. Why are you giving it to the second-in-command character rather than your main star who we've been with since the very, very beginning? Daryl Dixon was not in episode 1 of The Walking Dead. I don't even think he was in episode 2. I think he was in episode 3 when they went back to the camp. Rick Grimes has been in this show longer than any of these characters. He was in the pilot episode. The pilot episode, okay? As was Carl and potentially Carol. I don't know. She might have had a cameo in the scene where Shane's on the radio. But it's oh my god, no. My favorite show is dying. I've been seeing the ratings dip, but I've always been loyal to it, doing the reactions and the vlogs with you guys, and now I'm just so dejected. So disappointed, and any news and any vlogs that I make for you guys, they're always going to be in this realm. They're always going to be, we got more information, we got more updates, we got more this, and you know, I'm not going to have much else content for my YouTube channel if that's the case. I mean, I put out an E3 video the other day, but it didn't seem like many of you guys really are interested in the game. It honestly seems like 90% of you want Walking Dead content from me, and that the gaming content on my channel is dead. I might make an update vlog about this because it seems when I upload video game footage, like almost nobody watches it. But when I put up Walking Dead footage, like I get good attention. And again, I don't really care about views. I do this just in my spare time as a hobby. I'm super busy outside of this. So But again, I'd rather make videos that people want to watch rather than just, a video that gets 20 views and just fades into oblivion. There are other YouTubers that are heavily covering E3. And it's kind of unfortunate for me because my channel started off with video game stuff. That was the focus of it. And I'm pointing over here because that's where my PlayStation 4 is. And E3 2018 just announced an insane number of new games that I'm super pumped about. So, and it makes me sad because like if I record video game footage and put it on my YouTube channel, I feel like I've now alienated any of my gaming subscribers, because any of you guys who were subscribed to my YouTube channel for video game stuff, you might have unsubscribed because for these past couple of months and years you've been seeing reaction videos to The Walking Dead, you've been seeing vlogs like this about The Walking Dead. So maybe you just like, all right, I'll just go elsewhere to see my video game stuff. I don't really need to see his content about it. So, and that makes me sad because if The Walking Dead is dying, if the show is just going to fade into oblivion in the next 2 years, then my YouTube channel could be on the same path, because if it's all focused on The Walking Dead. I do cover Game of Thrones, but that show's going to end next year, and it seems like Walking Dead is the thing. Like, my fans like that show, and if I'm not uploading The Walking Dead, people aren't watching it. So I've kind of cornered myself with my content. So I don't know. I still have a ton of gaming videos up on my YouTube channel, and at this point they're an archive. You could look at the history. You can look at all the playthroughs I did back when I had an insane amount of free time to do playthroughs. So so yeah, that's just a mini rant on the side. Just let me guys know, because again, like Andrew Lincoln leaving the show, The Walking Dead dying, that affects like my YouTube channel. So I think that me talking about this, it ties into everything we're talking about. If 47% and 72% think, so 72% think the show should end after season 9, 44% saying they'd leave if Andrew Lincoln leaves, how do you think that viewership's going to translate over to my content? Like, if people don't give a shit about The Walking Dead and watching it, they're not going to watch vlogs and reaction videos. They're not going to. And I can tell you right now that my reaction video views were much higher for Season 6. Like, Season 6, I had the highest views ever for my reaction videos. That was it. That was the first season that I ever did that. Full-on reaction videos, and they got insane views every single week. And then Season 7, yeah, kind of, a little bit, but after the big death with Negan bashing in Glenn Abraham's head, some people, didn't show up as much, but then Season 8, there were some big episodes. Obviously, Carl dying, some parts of the war, so there were some videos in Season 8 people turned out high for. But other than that, there are some videos that just, they never hit the threshold. They never, ever hit it, and it tells me, because it goes hand in hand with the ratings. If the ratings of the show are going down, so are the ratings of people watching my content. Like, if one goes down, so does the other. They're dependent on each other. Like on a bar graph, they're dependent. They're dependent variables. They're not independent variables. So, with all that said, yeah, things aren't looking that great. I mean, this December will be the 8-year anniversary of my YouTube channel. So, at some point you want to say to yourself, when do I stop doing this? Because I have a full-time job, relationships, just a lot of things that I do outside. I mean, the only time you see Jack and Pete in my footage is for reaction videos. Like, they're very, very busy too. Like, I used to be able to do college vlogs and different stuff with them. And now not anymore, really. I mean, they're busy. They're not even, like, here right now. So, it's... it's tough. It's a tough landscape. It really is. And, every once in a while I'll have a video. Like, for when The Last Jedi came out, Jack was in that, and we were ranting about that. So there are some odds and ends. Like, this weekend, I'm going to see The Incredibles 2, and I'm probably going to upload a movie review of it, because it's a movie I've been waiting for 14 years, and it's significant, so I want to upload it. Just like I did a review for Avengers Infinity War, because I thought the movie was so incredible. So, I keep using that word ironically. So, a lot to think about. especially for on my end. And a lot for you guys. I mean, let me know. Like, if this show, you know, will you guys watch my content? I want to know that. If Andrew Lincoln leaves The Walking Dead and I keep watching and I say, fine, you know what, I've stuck with this show for this long, I might as well just watch it, even if my favorite character is gone and the whole point of the show is gone. Like, will you guys still watch? Just let me know yes or no, because that just helps me moving forward with just everything. Just me making videos, me just do everything. And like I told you guys, I left, Machinima dropped me as a partner a few weeks ago, a month ago, because, you know, they're a dying network, so it didn't even make sense for me to stay with them. You know, I had been with them for gaming, and I guess they finally figured out after a few years that I moved on to Walking Dead content. I don't know how the hell they didn't know that before. But now, yeah, now I'm just a YouTube partner, part of the AdSense program. I'm not partnered with anyone, nor do I really want to be. So... Whoa, all that being said, it's a lot of heavy stuff, man. A lot of heavy stuff. I mean, we're in a huge transition period right now. And, I mean, I knew coming out of college. I mean, I'm now over a year out of college, and I knew that would be a transition period for me, and that would present challenges for me doing the YouTube channel moving forward. So I knew this day would come. It was just a matter of time. So, you know, let me know what you think. This is an opinion vlog. I know I started it by talking about the ratings, talking about who should take over the show based on the poll The Walking Dead Reddit did. But, you know, there's still a lot to discuss and a lot to facilitate. So, with all that being said, thank you very much, everyone, for watching. I appreciate your viewership in every way possible, and I will see you later for more content, hopefully, in the future. Thanks.